Hello, welcome to the annual user group conference at Netreo NUGGETS 2023. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that has become a top priority for all organizations. The cloud adoption has provided organizations with agility and scalability, but we are seeing increasing concerns in the market about the uncontrolled data explosion and uncontrolled cost explosion. In this session, I'm going to talk about some of the secular trends we are seeing in the market and how our customers can take back control of their APM data. This is me, Sanjeev. I am a general manager. I run the Netreo APM business. In 25 years, I worked with a range of roles leading from change, transformation, product-led growth, partner sales, and customer success. I worked and lived in many countries, and more importantly, I worked with over 100 different nationalities over my working life. And that has given me experience of getting the best out of highly diverse international teams. And I'm really proud of that. So let's talk about what's happening in the market today. In the last 10 to 15 years, we have seen three clear trends. The first one is diversity of technology in use. You would remember not just too far back, like 20, 15, 20 years back, your choices on the software is limited to very few vendor suites. You're looking at Oracle, IBM, Microsofts of the world. But what has happened is in the last 10, 15 years, we have seen a number of open source platforms becoming really popular, like the Kafkas and the Kubernetes of the world. And in addition to that, there are like hundreds and hundreds of SaaS companies that are providing specialized software. So the diversity of technology in use has grown in the last 2 decades. The other thing that has happened together with it, or maybe because of it, is the scale in the number of computing inputs. And what I mean by that is, 15, 20 years back, when even I was doing software development, the physical hardware behind, your bill of materials and all of that would need to be procured. And there were physical machines that were typically used to manage any applications. And with the advent of AWS back in 2006, the concept of server procurement or compute procurement on cloud kind of was born. And then obviously Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud and others soon followed. And that resulted in kind of the revolution on the infrastructure side, where physical compute instances soon became containerized architectures. And then today we are seeing an increasing adoption of serverless and microservices architecture. So the kind of the complexity and the scale of the computing inputs units, has gone up significantly. The other thing that has happened together with this is how the organization roles have evolved. So before, you will have a development team who would kind of bring the application to production and chuck it over to ops, who will then manage it. What has now happened is with the tech agility and like no longer a difference between prod and non-prod, and the teams coming together. Actually, I would say with Amazon kind of popularly calling two pizza teams, where ops and devs are together. A lot of the companies are now having DevOps as a single functionality. We also call it shift left. And that has resulted in providing some agility on the technology in terms of making sure you're developing applications at a rapid clip. What we have then seen is the concept of business teams getting involved as well with dev and ops. So I was at UBS actually before I was with AWS, and they kind of invented the concept of a pod structure where the business, dev, and ops would sit together. So that would provide business agility. So you're not only looking at requirements phase and then going to the dev and ops to do it. The teams would sit together in a pod like concept, and making sure your business agility is also there, besides technical agility. And the evolution of that is obviously why just functional, look at non-functional as well, especially security. So now the overall concern on the application and technology development by default includes security. In summary, I mean, you can say technology is enabling the business to do more, But what you see in the graph here is it's obviously becoming more complex and harder to maintain. Now, we all agree, right? Cloud obviously has provided agility to the business. The businesses can leave kind of the undifferentiated heavy lifting of infrastructure to the cloud hyperscalers. It's instantly provisioned. Businesses can start small and then rapidly grow to the cloud, providing almost an infinite scalability. But what has also happened is, if you look at the picture here, when organizations move their data onto the cloud, obviously all cloud providers provide a free ingress. But when it comes to taking the data out of the cloud, uh, they obviously charge for it, right? And what we see here is, once the data comes to the cloud, there is a need for those data because of the trends that we talked about. Your microservices architecture at different, those microservices are in different places, so they may need to be sent to another cloud region or server farms. We talked about the rapid explosion of the SaaS companies. Companies of all size, by the way, customers, they use SaaS companies. Even the smallest of the companies, even us, right? We're not that big, but we easily have like 35 plus SaaS software in use. And it's a common trend across all companies of all sizes. So they all require data, and that results in a high cost of data, and the data being there in multiple places would also mean, a lot of times the data sit outside the span of control of the business. Then, looking at these trends, I was looking for some external validation of this cost and complexity trends. And what you see is this is a survey from Flexera that confirms that. It's not a surprise if you look at the picture here. Managing cloud spend and security are the top two concerns of today's enterprises and SMBs. And it's not a surprise that governance and compliance are next to it. So it's about cost of moving to the cloud, and it's also about control in terms of governance and compliance, regulatory compliance, sometimes HIPAA compliance, GDPR, and all of that, to make sure we are in control. So this is becoming an increasing concern with the customers today. So what we see here is, in the APM monitoring observability market, it obviously has become far more important with the explosion of the cloud. These tools provide meaningful insights to the customers. However, we do see that the increased complexity in server and cloud environments is resulting in exponential growth of monitoring costs, and customers are concerned about it. Um, Many vendors increase prices. We at Netreo APM actually haven't increased prices since our beginning, since our 2012, but many vendors have. And then customers are actually trying to take control of the APM solution because they want to control the data and they want to control the costs. So the usage trends that we are seeing is Open Telemetry is becoming increasingly interesting for these customers. The adoption is in early stages, but we see almost all the vendors are supporting it together with hyperscalers. So AWS, Azure, GCP, they're natively supporting Open Telemetry on a lot of their modern infrastructure. The other aspect around control, the lack of transparency that the customers are seeing today, security concerns that we talked about, they're pushing customers toward self-hosted solutions, or at least there is a demand for it in the market. Now, what we are doing at Netreo is, obviously we listen to this customer demand, and what we are launching as part of NUGGETS 2023 is a set of products that will give the customer, which gives them control, which gives them choice, which help them control the cost as well. So what you see here is all new Open Telemetry Appliance. It's a solution that is not there in the market today. If you focus on this Netreo OTel Appliance, it's actually hosted on a very small container footprint in a customer environment, and it provides customer with the complete control of the Open Telemetry data that is coming out of their on-prem, hybrid, or the cloud infrastructure. So with the appliance, the customer can decide what to send, and how much to send. Not only that, we have provided the aggregation of all the other exporters that are there in the market within the appliance itself. So we talked about what to send and how much. Not only that, they can decide who to send it to. So of course, they would send it to, or they could send it to Retrace APM, which is providing world-class APM functionality. But if they want to go open source, that's fine. They can send from the appliance to the open source like Prometheus and Grafana, or actually some of the other vendors that are out in the market. So this appliance provides the customer with that freedom, the sense of control of the data and who they are sending it to. So this one, actually, Dan Gidman, our chief architect and principal engineer, will talk more about this during NUGGET. So please look out for his session to kind of get the complete overview of what the appliance does, how it can be configured. Very, very simple to do. And additionally, we have sessions from Todd Lair and James McEllis providing you with demos and configuration details. So not only you would get a sense of the value from the product, but also it's very easy to set up and you will be able to kind of get up and running immediately. So please look out for those sessions as well. This is just a taster that I'm covering right now. The next product that I'm going to talk about is a self-hosted retrace. So we have talked about how the increased complexity in server and cloud environments results in exponential growth of monitoring costs. Our customers are concerned about it. We have talked about that. We have seen the survey of how the concerns are kind of adding up, both in terms of cost. Next product I'm going to talk about is self-hosted retrace. Now, we have talked about before how the increasing complexity in server and cloud environments results in exponential growth of monitoring costs. We have talked about how customers are concerned about it and how many leading vendors continue to add new pricing plans or increase their prices, basically making the whole thing a lot more complex than it needs to be. We talked about how at Netreo APM, how we have kept our prices simple, pricing at a fraction of what the competition is, and we have never increased our prices. Despite providing that predictability, I think as an ecosystem, because of the growth of the explosion of the infrastructure that we are talking about on cloud, we will be going one step further. Our customers can now get a self-hosted retrace where their own data will never leave the Azure environment. We, Netreo APM, we will deploy and manage the Retrace platform for our customer, which includes all the infrastructure components, all the software that is required to make Retrace work. And customer will actually get the access to Retrace inside their own domain, in their own intranet, rather than through the public internet. So what this will provide is obviously control of data, because it's never leaving their controlled environment. So it's sitting right within their Azure account. And also it will provide control on the costs, because the costs are very transparent. It's the platform cost that they can see, and it comes with obviously our fixed platform fee. So in addition to that, for customers with certain data residency and control needs, like we saw, governance and compliance being a big concern, this is a great opportunity to take back control of the APM, errors, and logs right under one platform. This platform is available on Azure, so scaling up and scaling down is very easy. And we will provide the support as usual. So it's a great value proposition for our customers to kind of take back control of their own APM, metrics, traces, and logs. So look out for the session from Sushil Nagi. He's our VP of Platform Engineering, and he will go into the details of look how super easy it is to get it configured. We will do that for you, and we'll obviously manage the platform for you. And it has basically the best of both worlds in terms of cost, flexibility, scalability, security, and data control. So a great solution that we are launching as part of NUGGETS 2023. Now, if you look at this picture, you can see, kind of the two solutions when you put together the OTel Appliance and self-hosted Retrace. You have complete control on your observability data. This is your metrics, traces, logs. So on the left side, if you look at the customer environment, you have all of your current infrastructure, whether it's on-prem, hybrid, any combination of cloud, in the AWS, Azure, Google that you're using, you can send all the telemetry data onto the Netreo OTel appliance. You can decide how much to send, what to send, and then on the right side, you can decide actually who to send that we have covered as part of the appliance. And what you see on this customer choice here is within Netreo APM, you now have a choice. So before we have a SaaS platform, which is, we have 1,000+ customers on the platform, which continues to grow. But now you have a choice to get a self-hosted solution sitting right next to your own Azure account, managed by us. So you don't have to worry about, the upgrades and all of that. So we will manage it for you. But if you choose to not take any of our solution and go open source on your own with the appliance, you can absolutely do that, right? So what we want is we want you to have the control. We want you to have a choice on how you want to manage your APM and observability data. What we promise to provide you is a single pane of glass solution, out of the box, full stack visibility with our Netreo APM platform. But if you decide to have your own in-house built dashboards and analytics, you can do that with this solution. So it provides you with that flexibility and choice, which you don't have, which is not there in the market today. So with the launch of the Open Telemetry appliance and the self-hosted solution, you kind of get the complete solution in your control. And with that, thank you for listening to the presentation. You have my details here, so please feel free to reach out to me or any member of the team. So as I talked about in the Open Telemetry appliance, Dan Kidman, Todd Lair, James McEllis, there are sessions from these team. And for the self-hosted solution, Sushil Nagi, our VP of Platform Engineering, will cover that session in detail. Thank you for listening.